Hi, my name is Sam J. Gold. I'm a theater teaching artist and a puppeteer, and today we are going to explore shadow puppetry, which is a kind of puppetry that combines light, shadow, and a lot of creativity to create a live performance that feels almost like an animated movie. Now, this video is part of the Kennedy Center Education's online collection, Teaching Artists Present, in which teaching artists from around the country share arts activities that you can enjoy from the comforts of your home. Are you ready to get started? Let's do it. Did you know that people have been telling stories with shadow puppets for nearly 3,000 years? It's true. Shadows can grow and shrink, they can move and transform. They're perfect for telling fantastic tales. We're going to make our own shadow puppets today, but before we get started, let me show you a bit of what I mean. To make a shadow, all we need is a light, a surface to shine the light on, and something to hold up into the light. If I move my object closer to my light, its shadow grows bigger. Further away, and the shadow grows smaller. This is called scale. I can move my object around in the light to move its shadow on the wall. If I move it out of the light, it exits, and then it can re-enter from a new place, just like a cartoon. This is called movement. I can also move my light source, almost like we're moving a video camera. This shifts the audience's point of view and can reveal all new things about my shadow. It's what we call perspective. Now that we've taken a quick look at what shadow puppets can do, it's time to start working on our own. Now, all kinds of things can become shadow puppets, anything from your hand to a complex character with joints and rods. Today, we are going to meet somewhere in the middle with a creature puppet. And to do this, we're going to need just a few supplies. First, we're going to need a light source. Could be a lamp, a flashlight. My personal favorite is actually that little flashlight that you find inside your cell phone. Second, we're going to need a writing utensil, like a pen or a pencil. Third, we're going to need a pair of scissors. And finally, we're going to need a piece of thin cardstock or cardboard. I like to use a cereal box for this. You want something that is thin enough to be able to cut through pretty easily, but thick enough to stand up straight and not flop over when we use it as a puppet. In just a moment, I'm going to ask you to pause this video to go gather your materials. After you've assembled everything, press play and join me as we turn this into something more like this. Ready? Pause! Now that we've got our supplies, it's time to start brainstorming our creation. You can make just about anything into a shadow puppet, but today I would like us to focus on creatures. Now, this could be a real animal, it could be something mythological, it could be something you just made up. Once you've picked your creature, I want you to think about where it lives. Does your creature live underwater? Maybe it lives in a forest. Maybe it lives in your home. There's no wrong answer here. This is just an extra great detail that's going to help us when we tell our story. Once you've picked your creature and where it lives, it's time to make a puppet. To the workstation. Welcome to my workstation. Here I have my pencil, my cardboard, and my scissors. I'm all ready to begin. Now, I've decided I'm going to make a serpent that lives in a cave in the mountains near a small village. I hope you stick to whatever creature you came up with, but if you want to follow along with me, first I'm going to draw a basic outline of my serpent, starting with its fangs. When I work on creatures, I like to identify one element of that character that's going to be very important, and that's usually where I start my drawing. So now that I've finished my fangs, I'm going to make a shape for its head, and then draw just a basic outline of my creature. There's no need at this point to add too many details, just enough to create the shape of the character. Now it's looking a bit like a serpent. I'm going to go back now and put an eye onto my character. And then I'm going to add little spikes. Now, as you can see, these spikes almost look like mountains. And so after I've made a few of them, I'm actually going to transition and start drawing little houses. This is a little scene depicting sort of the world that my creature lives in. It's a shift in perspective, and it's all existing on top of our puppet. As you can see, I'm drawing 3 little houses, but you could draw a boat, or waves, or a forest, or a mountain, truly wherever your creature lives. Now that I've finished my drawing, it's time to cut my creature out. Here, I like to start along the large global shape of my creature and then save the little details for the end. Now, I'm gonna speed up my footage, but please take your time. Cutting is important stuff, and it's definitely not a race. Okay, here's a little confession. You can see I drew 2 trees and then a few more spikes for my serpent. But as I was cutting, I started thinking, I don't think that this character really needs those details. I think we can capture the world without them. And so I just cut them off. A few more cuts on the teeth, and now it's time to work on the extra little details. As you can see, I've poked a little hole with my scissors through my puppet that I'm using to cut out its eye. This is going to really give our character some life. And now, just to help my houses look a little different from my mountains, I'm going to cut out tiny little rectangles to be the doors. My puppet is ready. Now that we've cut out our puppets, it's time to see what they look like in the shadows, which means we're going to need a surface to shine our light. Something empty, something flat. Walls are great. Large pieces of paper work well. You could take a sheet and drape it over something. I think I'm going to work on this corkboard, which means I'm going to need a minute to pull all of these puppets down. While I do that, I'd like you to look around your space and see if you can find your own perfect spot for a shadow puppet show. Once you've found it, turn off the lights and join me in the darkness. Let's test out our shadow puppets. First, try holding them in the light. Don't they look great? Let's experiment with scale, bringing our creatures really close to the light and then far away. Now let's try traveling around the space. How does your creature move? Is it slow and sliding? Does it walk or jump? Fast or flying? Finally, let's play with perspective. Pick a single feature of your creature. It could be its eye, its mouth, a fin, or a tail. And now let's try zooming in on it. If we get super close, does it even look like a mouth or a leg anymore? Mine kind of looks like the inside of a cave. Now let's try zooming out. Okay, already we're creating a story. You thought you were in a cave, but actually it's the mouth of a snake. Let's try this again, but now on the location we created on our creature. You can see on mine that now we're in a small little village. Instead of zooming out, what happens if we travel along our creature, moving the light to the left or the right? It's like we're going on a journey, leaving or arriving at our destination. We can combine all of these elements into the start of a very exciting story. I'll show you what I mean. Deep inside a cave, there once lived a giant serpent. He wasn't a mean serpent, but he looked kind of scary, so he didn't get many visitors. One day, he decided to slither down the mountain into a nearby town. Dun, dun, dun. Now it's your turn. Practice the beginning of your story using scale, movement, and perspective to bring the words to life. You can use my sequence or invent your own. What comes next in your story? Is it time to make another puppet? Or maybe you want to add more detail to your first, and then you could continue using movement and scale and shifts in perspective to pick up where we left off. The cool thing about shadow puppetry is that the possibilities are basically endless. You might even enlist a friend or family member to join you in the production. You'd be surprised at how complex a story can grow with 4 hands and a little bit of practice.
Oh, I like this cave. Cave. Oh. Oh. Oh.
Achoo! I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare you.
Oh. That's okay. You did scare me, but I'm okay.
Oh, really? You're okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Oh, I'm so relieved. Do you want to be my friend?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What kind of things do friends do?
We could go play games.
I love that. Let's go.
Okay, come with me.
My friend, my friend, my friend, my friend, my friend.
I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you'll check out some other videos in the Kennedy Center Teaching Artist Presents collection. Thanks again for watching, and good luck on those creatures.